Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Green. We're doing another Read the Bible in 1 year, day 89, 2 Samuel 4 through 6. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell. That way you get updated whenever I post a new video. Like the video and also comment. You can say hi, thank you, thumbs up, smiley face, whatever you want to comment. Helps with the algorithm. Remember, I'm dyslexic and I stutter, so if I say a big word, I get a little confused. Just bear with me. And here we go. 2 Samuel chapter 4. And when Saul's son heard that Abner was dead in Hebron, his hands were feeble, and all the Israelites were in trouble. And Saul's son had two men that were captains of bands. The name of one was Baanah, and the name of the other was Rechab, the son of Ramon, a Bethrite of the children of Benjamin, for Beeroth was also reckoned of Benjamin. And the Beerothite fled to Gittim, and they were sojourners until this day. And Jonathan, Saul's son, had a son that was lame on his feet. He was 5 years old when the tidings came of Saul and Jonathan out of Jezreel, and his nurse took him up and fled. And it came to pass, as she made haste to flee, that when he fell, he became lame, and his name was Melchizedek. And the sons of Ramah, the Bethrite, Rechab, and Baanah, went and came about the heat of the day to the house of Ishbosheth, who lay in the bed at noon. And they came thither to the midst of the house, and though they would have fetched wheat, and they smote him under the fifth rib, and Rechobab and Baanah his brother escaped. For when they came to the house, he laid in his bed with the bedchamber, and they smote him and slew him, and beheaded him, and took his head, and got them away through the plain of all night. And they brought the head of Ibodesh to David in Hebron, and said to the king, Behold, the head of Ishboeth, the son of Saul, thine enemy, which sought thy life. And the Lord has avenged my lord the king this day of Saul and his seed. And David answered Rechboab and Baanah his brother, the sons of Ramon the Bethrite, and said unto them, As the Lord liveth, who has redeemed my soul out of the adversity? When one told me, saying, Behold, Saul is dead, thinking to have brought good tidings, I took hold of him and slew him in Ziklag. And who thought I would have given him a reward for his tidings? How much more when wicked men have slain a righteous person in his own house upon his bed? Shall I not therefore require his blood on your hands, and take you away from the earth? And David commanded his young men, and they slew him, and cut off their hands and their feet, and hung them up over the pool at Hebron. But they took the head of Ishboeth, and buried him in the sepulchre of Abner at the Hebron. 2 Samuel chapter 5. Then came all the tribes of Israel to David in Hebron, and spoke, saying, Behold, we are thy bone and thy flesh. Also in times past, when Saul was king over us, thou wast he that ladeth out and brought us into Israel. And the Lord said unto thee, Thou shalt feed my people Israel, and thou shalt be a captain over Israel. So the elders of Israel came to the king of Hebron, and king of David made a league with them in Hebron before the Lord, and they anointed David king over Israel. David was 30 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned for 40 years. In Hebron he reigned over Judah 7 years and 6 months, and in Jerusalem he reigned 30 and 3 years over Israel and Judah. And the king and his men went to Jerusalem to enter the Jebusites, the inhabitants of the land, which spoke unto David, saying, Except thou take away the blind and the lame, thou shalt not come in hither, thinking David cannot come in hither. Nevertheless, David took the stronghold of Zion, the same was the city of David. And David said on that day, Whosoever getteth up the gutter, and smiteth the Jebusite, and the lame and the blind man that hated David's soul, he shall be cheap and captive. Wherefore they said, The blind and the lame shall not come into the house. So David dwelt in a fort, and called it the city of David. And David built round about from Milo and inward. And David went on and grew great, and the Lord God of hosts was with him. And Hiram king of Tyre sent messengers to David, and cedar trees, and carpenters, and masons, and they built David a house. And David perceived that the Lord had established him king over Israel, and that he had exalted his kingdom for his people's or Israel's sake. And David took him more concubines and wives out of Jerusalem, after he was come from Hebron, and there were yet sons and daughters born to David. And these be the names of those that were born unto him in Jerusalem: Shashmulah, the Shoab, Nathan, Solomon, Ibihar, also Elishu, and Napeg, and Japhah, and Ishiham, and Eldad, and Ilthite. But when the Philistines heard that they had anointed King David over Israel, and all the Philistines came to seek David, and David heard of it, he went down to the hold. The Philistines also came and spread themselves in the valley of Rephaim. And David inquired of the Lord, saying, Shall I go up with the Philistines? Wilt thou deliver them into mine hand? And the Lord said unto David, Go up, for I will doubtlessly deliver the Philistines into thy hand. And David came to Baal Peorim, and David smote them there. And they said, The Lord has broken forth upon mine enemies before men, and the breach of waters. Therefore he called the name of that place Baal Perazim. And there was left the images, and David and his men burnt them. And the Philistines came up yet again and spread themselves in the valley of Rephaim. And then went David to inquire of the Lord, and he said, Thou shalt not go up, but fetch a compass behind them, and come in them over against the mulberry trees. And let it be, when thou hearest the sound of the goings in the tops of the mulberry trees, that then thou shalt besteal themselves, and they shall go to the Lord out of before thee, to smite the host of the Philistines. And David did so, as the Lord commanded him, and smote the Philistines from Gibab unto the coming of Gezer. 2 Samuel chapter 6. Again David gathered together all the chosen men of Israel, 30,000. And David arose and went to all the people that were with him from Baal to Judah, to bring up from thence the ark of God, whose names he called by the name of the Lord host, that dwelleth between the cherubims. And they set the ark of God upon a new cart, and brought it out of the house of Abinadab that was in Gibesh. And Uttai and Alo, and the sons of Abinadab, drove a new cart. And they brought it out of the house of Abinadab, which was in Gibesh, accompanying the ark of God. And Ilo went before the ark. And David and all the house of Israel prayed before the Lord on all the manner of instruments made of fir wood, even on harps and on psalteries, and upon timbrels and cornets and cymbals. And when they come to Nachon's threshing floor, Uzzah put forth his hand to the ark of God, and took hold of it, for the ox shook it. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Uzzah, and God smote him there for his arrow, and there was he died by the ark of God. And David was displeased because the Lord had made a breach upon Uzzah, and he called the name of that place Perez to this day. And David was afraid of the Lord that day, and said, How shall the ark of the Lord come to me? So David would not remove the ark of the Lord unto him the city of David, but David carried it aside to the house of Obededom the Gittite. And the ark of the Lord continued in the house of Obededom the Gittite 3 months, and the Lord blessed Obededom and his household. And the Lord told, and it was told to David, saying, The Lord has blessed the house of Obededom and all that pertaineth unto him because of the ark of God. So David went and brought the ark of God to the house of Obededom into the city of David with gladness. It was so that when they had bare the ark of the Lord had gone 6 paces, he sacrificed oxen and fattings. And David danced before the Lord with all his might, and David was girded with a linen ephod. So David and all the house of Israel brought up the ark of the Lord with shouting and with sounds of trumpet. And the ark of the Lord came into the city of David. Michal, Saul's daughter, looked through a window and saw King David leaping and dancing before the Lord, and she despised him in her heart. And the Lord brought the ark of the Lord and set it in its place in the midst of the tabernacle that David had pitched for it. And David offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before the Lord. And as soon as David had made an end of offering burnt offerings and peace offerings, he blessed the people with the name of the Lord of hosts. And he dwelt among all the people, even among the whole multitude of Israel, as well as the women and men, to every one a cake of bread, and a good piece of flesh, and a flagon of wine. And all the people departed, every one to his house. And David returned to bless his household. And Michal, the daughter of Saul, came out to meet David, and said, How glorious was the king of Israel today, whom uncovered himself today in the eyes of the handmaids of his servants, as one of the vain fellows shamelessly uncovers himself. And David said to Michal, It was before the Lord which chose me before my father, and before all the house, to anoint me ruler over the people of the Lord, over Israel. Therefore I will play before the Lord. And I will yet be more vile than thus, and I will be base in my own sight. And thy maidservants which thou hast spoken of, if thou should have an honor. Therefore Michal, the daughter of Saul, had no child till the day of her death. Well, guys, that's the video. I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell, like the video, and also comment. I'm going to put a couple links on the screen. The bottom right is going to be the Read the Bible in 1 Year Study. The top left is going to be a playlist I think you're going to like. And the bottom left is going to be a video YouTube thinks you're going to like. If you know somebody that might benefit from this, please share it with them. You can also share it on social media. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.